wanted to show you guys a little bit about what we did to the boat, just to help us out in low light situations. Everybody knows in Michigan we have awesome fishing, but our fishing season is very short. So I don't want to have low light conditions, whether it's putting the boat in, backing into an access, or just rigging in low light situations, determine when I head out to the lake or when I get off the water at night as well. So we're just going to show you guys a couple super easy things. It doesn't cost much at all. It's actually really cheap, and it should be able to help you guys get out on the water sooner and stay out later and catch more fish. All right guys, so one of the things we talked about was being able to see better and ultimately safer when you're rigging your baits in low light conditions early in the morning or late at night. So there's two things I need to see. I need to see what's on my deck as far as rods, tools, hooks, baits, whatever it is, and I need to see in my compartments. So I wanted to achieve that in two ways. One, I wanted to put deck lights on the boat because there currently weren't any, and I replaced all the Ranger LEDs that were the older style, like the Generation 1 LEDs, with the new rigid A lights, super bright. Ultimately, like, they're indestructible. You can pull them behind the car, they're totally waterproof. It's just one thing you don't have to worry about, and that's what I wanted. I wanted one time to install everything and then no worries after that. So behind all of our compartments are these rigid A lights, super bright. I can see absolutely every single thing I need to get to, finding the right rod, reel, baits, tools, anything like that is no longer an issue because it lights everything up to where there's no second guessing of what you're grabbing when you ultimately need it right then and there to get on the water. So as you guys can see, the compartments are daylight bright. They're way brighter than what originally came in the Ranger. Granted, my boat isn't brand new, so I'm sure the new ones come with, you know, the new latest greatest can see Jesus in them lights. But the other thing we did is the blue water LED deck lights. Absolutely the biggest difference I've ever seen. It's just bright enough that you can see everything you need to see on the boat. Of course, we went with red so it doesn't mess with your night vision, even though it is a touch brighter than totally getting your eyes used to it. So using it in like absolutely pitch black situations, you do kind of lose the edge of the boat beyond that, but it's so dark anyways, I doubt you'd ever see it. So a couple things I want to hit on as far as compartment lights, deck lights, and then we'll show you guys the backup lights. If you make a crappy connection, there is no point in doing any of this at all. You might as well just start taking $100 bills and throwing them into the lake. So when I make every single connection, I slide heat shrink tube up the wires that I'm connecting. This is super easy. It's 12 volt, red to red, black to black. And then I use heat shrink butt connectors. So when you heat shrink them, they actually shrink down to the appropriate wire size that you're using, and a little bit of silicone out the ends seals everything up. And when you're done, you slide the heat shrink tube back over your butt splice, and then you shrink that into place as well. So there is no way anything can get penetrated by water in this. If you are buying a light or buying a brand of light that tries to sell you a Scotch lock connection for any of this, you need to step up to a better light company, because it's just a situation that it breeds problems just by getting penetrated by water, and then you start having big time problems of intermittent use of lights, and it's no good for anybody. So save yourself, spend an extra couple bucks, get yourselves the right butt splices and right heat shrinks, and everything is good to go. I've been using these for a couple months now. Backup lights, totally submergible, and they're running like a top. So make sure that you guys do all your connections just right. We'll show you guys the backup lights, and then we'll show you guys an overview of what everything looks like in the dark. So I originally told you guys that this was a super cheap thing to do to your boat to help you ultimately see everything. And really it is. So the cool thing is those aren't rigid A lights and those aren't blue water LEDs. The only thing that I'm running that is a blue water LED is my backup lights. So kind of learned a lesson on that one. Thought I'd buy some cheaper ones, used them like 3 times, filled up with water, they were junk. So keep in mind that I bought these on Amazon. I will put a link in the description of exactly the ones I bought. You have to compare the specifications of brand versus brand. I know on Amazon it kind of gets eBay-ish at times to where you're not sure what you're buying. The specifications that they sell you in the description has to match up with the description on the package that you get. If it doesn't, return it. So the ones that we bought did. The fact that those rigid A lights cost us $12 for 4 of them is astounding to me, and they are literally identical. Every single thing about them is identical, except I did the whole boat for like 80 bucks and it didn't cost me upwards of 400 with A lights. The LEDs work perfectly. A lot of people have problems with the LED strip lights falling off. That's where it comes down to preparation. You got to use your alcohol swabs, get everything perfect on the boat, a good clean surface, and I don't think you're going to have any issues at all. So again, I'll put everything in the description, including the blue water LED backup lights, because those are well worth the money. You can see forever with those, and you have no problem getting down any boat access at all. So those will all be in the description. You guys stay tuned for more videos from Taiwan on TV.